Welcome to chapter 32 of the book of Genesis. Jacob fears Esau, his brother. I'll read a little in the Greek, and then we'll go through the chapter. Ke Yaakov apilthan is tin iavtu othon. And Jacob went forth into his own way. He was quarreling with Laban, who chased after Jacob when Jacob fled from Laban up in Haran and went south to the Gilead area, east of the Jordan River. And Laban caught up with them. They argued and then made up. And Laban went back up to Haran, and Jacob went south to get back into Canaan, where he came from. And having looked up, he saw the camp of God in camp. Now, what this entails, it doesn't say, except for angels. And the angels of God met with him. So it must have been quite a sight for somebody to see. It reminds me of the shepherds at the time of Jesus. They were out watching their flocks at night, and the angels appeared to them, the heavenly hosts, scared them and so forth. And it says, Jacob said when he saw them, well, this is the Paramvoli, Theou, the camp of God. And he called the name of that place Paramvole, camps. And the King James has a Mahanaim as the name of it. It's off of the Jabbok River. We'll go into the map here in a little bit. And Jacob sent messengers. Now here it says Angelusi, and up above he saw the Angeli, number 32, and it's 32 here. Here is a messenger, and up above it's an angel. So whenever it is from God, it's called an angel, and when it's from man, it's a messenger. Angelus, same word. So Jacob sent these men in front of him to Esau, his Adelphon brother, into the land of Seir, into the region of Edom. Now, generally, Edom is way down. Here is Gilead. The Jabbok is over here, and Mahanaim, and down further south is Edom. So he's heading on further south till he finally meets up with his brother in Edom, or north of that. And Jacob gave charge to them, the men, saying, the messengers, thus you shall say to my master Esau, thus says your servant Yaakov, Jacob, I sojourned with Laban, and I passed time until the present, 20 years. And there came to me oxen and donkeys and sheep, maidservants and maidservants, and I sent to announce to my master Esau that your servant might find favor before you, because he was fearing, because he stole the birthright and the right of the firstborn, deceiving Esau, Isaac also the father, who blessed Jacob instead of Esau because of their mother disguising Jacob to look like Esau. And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, we came to your brother Esau, and behold, he's coming to meet you, and 400 men with him. Whoa! Wow, that must have really put the fear into him. And Jacob feared exceedingly and was perplexed. And he divided the people with himself, and the oxen and the sheep, into two camps. And Jacob said, if Esau should come into one camp and should smite it, the second camp will be for delivering. They can escape. And Jacob said, now, so he was fearing Esau, even though he knew God had promised him the safe return. So we see and read the Bible, and again, when we are in front of danger, we fear. Pretty much natural. And yet God will do what he says. The God of my father Abraham and the God of my father Isaac, well, Abraham was his grandfather, but in the Greek it's the same word. O Lord, the one saying to me, run to the land of your birth, and I will do good to you. So he's reminding God, reminding himself too, what God said, that he was told to do this by him, by God. It is fit to me for all righteousness and of all truth, of which you did to your servant. For with this my rod I passed over this Jordan, and now I exist in two camps. Now when he passed over the Jordan, if he came from the through the top by Lebanon and down into Canaan, then he went over into Gilead, which is on the eastern side of the Jordan, or he's talking about being on the eastern side of the Jordan and going over towards the west. I don't know. That's hard to figure out here. But he's telling God, I did what you said. Rescue me from out of the hand of my brother, from out of the hand of Esau, for I fear him, lest coming he should strike me, and the mother with the children. But you said, I will do good, I will do you good, and I will establish your seed as the sand of the sea, which shall not be counted by the multitude. So again, he's continuing relating to God the things that God told him earlier. And he went to sleep there that night and took gifts of which he brought and sent to Esau his brother. Here's all the animals. Goats, 200. He-goats, 20. Sheep, 200. Rams, 20. Camels and their offspring nursing, 30. Oxen, 40. Bulls, 10. Donkeys, 20. And foals, 10. It's a lot of animals going to Esau. And he gave them by the hand to his servants, a flock by itself alone. So they would go in increments, not all at once. And he said to his servants, will you go forth in front of me and make a space between flock and flock? And he gave charge to the first, saying, if Esau my brother should meet you, and he should ask you, saying, who are you, and where might you go, and who are these going before you? You shall say, your servant Jacob has sent gifts to my master Esau, and behold, he is behind us. So apparently Esau controlled a lot of this land that Jacob was returning to. Verse 19, and Jacob gave charge to the first, and to the second, and to the third, and to all the ones going behind these flocks, saying, according to this saying you speak to Esau in your finding him. This is what you used to say to him, the same thing. There's gifts from Jacob. And you shall say, behold, your servant Jacob comes after us. For he said, I will appease his face by the gifts going before him. And after this I will see his countenance, for perhaps he will favorably receive my person if he harms any of these camps and he knows he's in trouble. And the gifts went before according to his front, and he went to sleep that night in the camp. So now they're all going, and Jacob is now going to go to sleep. It says, but in rising that night he took the 2 wives and the 2 maidservants and the 11 children of his, Benjamin hadn't been born yet, and passed over the ford of the Jabbok. And he took them and passed over the rushing stream, and caused to pass over all the ones of his. And Jacob was left behind alone. And the Jabbok, again, is in the map. over to that map here. My board is covering up, but it's down in here with Mahanaim. It says Mahanaim in the Jabbok. It's in Jordan today, the country of Jordan. So, and Jacob was left behind alone, and a man wrestled with him until morning. Well, you know, a man would, it's kind of weird. All of a sudden, the man is wrestling with him. What man? Who is this? And he saw that he was not able to prevail against him. Now, he would be the man that he was not able to prevail. The him would be Jacob, and the man touched the wide part of his, Jacob's thigh, all these pronouns. And he paralyzed the wide part of the thigh of Jacob in his wrestling with him. And he said to him, "You send me away, for the dawn ascended." And that would have been the man. And Jacob said, "No way will I send you away if you," the man, "should not bless me." Now, all of a sudden he's wrestling with a man, but now a blessing comes up. Well, that's kind of strange. And he said to him, that is the man, to Jacob, "What is your name?" And he said, "Yaakov," Jacob. And he, the man, said to him, "Your name shall not be called Jacob any longer, but Israel will be your name." So now we have Israel, and we go with Israel even down to today, where we have the country of Israel. Comes from Jacob. "For you grew in strength against God." Now, this man is saying that he grew in strength against God. Well, how did God relate to this battle? And against mighty men. So he's blessed, and this man tells him that he has grown in strength and all these things. And Jacob asked and said, "Well, announce to me your name." And he, the man, said, "Why is this you ask my name, which is wonderful?" He didn't say Yahweh, Jehovah. He just said it's wonderful. And the man, he blessed him there, wonderful. And Jacob called the name of that place, Sight of God, for I saw God face to face, and my life was preserved. So now we find out that the man was God. And Jacob wrestled with him, but yet his life was preserved rather than seeing God and being destroyed. And the sun arose to him, to Jacob, when he went by the form of God. But he was limping in his thigh. So he saw this form of God limping because of his being touched. And because of this, in no way should the sons of Israel eat the neurology, nerve. You can add that to your English derivatives book. In no way should the sons of Israel eat. Now they're called the sons of Israel. And he hasn't had them. Well, yeah, the 11 of them. By which he was paralyzed, which is upon the wide part of the thigh, until this day. For he, that is God, touched the wide part of the thigh of Jacob, of the nerve, in which he was paralyzed. Interesting chapter, how God has appeared to Jacob a couple of times. Now we continue in our next chapter, 33. Jacob goes and meets Esau. Interesting chapter also. I hope you join us in the next video seminar. And until then, God bless.